Everyone thinks they know what betrayal sounds like until they hear their own name torn apart by people they trusted. I used to keep a small digital recorder in my desk drawer at work. One of those tiny silver ones that looks more like a USB drive than anything else. I bought it 3 years ago to record meeting notes, back when I actually believed documentation mattered in corporate America. Funny how the things we buy for one purpose end up serving another entirely. My name is Sarah, and I was the communications director at Meridian Consulting, a mid-sized firm that prided itself on innovative solutions and collaborative culture. The kind of place where they serve kombucha on tap and have mandatory team-building retreats. I'd been there for 5 years, working my way up from junior associate to a position I genuinely loved. I managed a team of 12, oversaw our biggest client accounts, and had just been told I was being considered for VP when everything started falling apart. It began with small things. Meetings I wasn't invited to anymore. Conversations that stopped when I walked into a room. My assistant, Janet, started avoiding eye contact. My direct reports seemed nervous around me, like they knew something I didn't. But whenever I asked, everyone insisted everything was fine. Normal office politics, they said. Quarterly stress, they said. I was reading too much into things, they said. The first real sign came during a client presentation I'd spent weeks preparing. I walked into the conference room to find my colleague Marcus already presenting my slides, the ones I'd sent to the team the night before for final review. When I questioned him afterward, he acted like it had been a miscommunication. "Sarah, you seem so overwhelmed lately," he said with that practiced concerned voice. "I thought you'd appreciate the help." But I wasn't overwhelmed. I was being undermined. Marcus and I had started at the company around the same time. We'd even been friends once, grabbing drinks after work, complaining about impossible deadlines, supporting each other through difficult clients. He was the kind of person who remembered your birthday and asked about your dog. I trusted him completely, which made what happened next feel like swallowing glass. The second incident was my quarterly report. I'd submitted it directly to our director Helen, as always. But during the team meeting, Helen announced that my section was incomplete and would need to be supplemented by additional research. Research that Marcus conveniently had ready to present. As I sat there watching him explain concepts I'd developed, using language I'd written, I felt something cold settle in my chest. After the meeting, I cornered Helen in her office. "What's going on?" I asked. "That was my research. My analysis." Helen's smile was sharp enough to cut. "Sarah, I think you might be feeling territorial. Marcus was just filling in some gaps. Maybe you should consider whether you're taking on too much responsibility." Taking on too much responsibility. At a job I'd been excelling at for 5 years. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying interactions from the past month, looking for patterns I'd missed. The way conversations shifted when I approached. How my ideas would be dismissed in meetings, only to be praised when someone else presented them later. The subtle digs disguised as concern about my stress levels,